Hello, it's June Olson with Junebug Creations, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, coming to you live from Kalispell, Montana. That's a new one. I'm going to have to learn that. We moved from Whitefish to Kalispell, and so I can't say Whitefish anymore. And I kind of miss my little Whitefish town. Luckily, I do have my chiropractor there, so I still have to go that way and go to that town. But it was a nice town. We just couldn't find a house there, so we are in Kalispell, our big city of the area. Not that big, not really. Not when you've come from Tucson, which is a big city. All right, but not as big as some cities that you might all have been to or live in. So tell me, where are you watching from? Just so I can see. Do we have some big city folks, like Phoenix, Dallas, Houston, Philadelphia, New York, big cities. Those are huge, ginormous cities with lots of tall buildings. We don't have that here, happily. Do not miss that from Tucson, especially the traffic. Nope, don't miss that either. All right, so it is Paper Pumpkin Playdate, and we are switching it to Thursday mornings at 9:45. Yes, I am a little bit late, still working out some of the electronics and the lighting and everything, so let me know that it's not too bright or not too dark for you to see. The lighting is different in this house, and today it's cloudy, so the window blinds are up so that more light comes in. So just working on that. I'm going to, before we jump into the new box, I never got to do a live with the January kit. So I just want to show pick those cards to you. I did have pictures of them, but now I just want to show them to you in person because sometimes that just really helps make a difference. I do not know if this is in the refill one. I should have probably checked, but I do have one of these kits for sale. So if you really want it and it's not in the refill, or you don't have a subscription yet, you can reach out to me through either Messenger or email, june@junebugcreations29.com, and let me know that you want one of these kits, and I will be happy to send it to you. So here is the January kit. It was special delivery. And of course it was Valentine's-y. We had the stamps of sending love, airmail, you brighten my day, just for you, and happy Valentine's Day. All right, those were super fun to play with. Here were the no-fail instructions, which is one of the best things. I got to play one night at the dining room table and just kind of went to town on it. So these are the cards as designed in the kit. There was this one. And then there was this one. And I love how even though we covered this, we still stamped so that part of it would show. I find that interesting. I don't think about doing that. If it's going to be covered, I tend to not stamp it. And then there was this one. I think this one was probably my favorite out of the three that were designed by Stampin' Up! And then I did some alternates. I just started playing. And so I used the scoreboard to do these lines. And then I stamped back and forth the just for you and then did it over there. So you can see I kind of mixed and matched what I had because I didn't have all my tools. I just had a few basic tools for that. Actually, I think I didn't have my scoreboard. It was still packed. I used my trimmer scoring blade for that. So I have the lines going across this way, and then you can see the lines going, there we go, going down that way. All right, and then this one was actually, while I was working on this, I was participating in a webinar that I had earned by selling kits last November. And this was one of the sketches they did with the materials they were using, and so I decided to go ahead and do that. So I needed strips of DSP, so I used card bases and part of the card fronts, and then I stamped the inside of one of the card bases with the different stamps and cut those. So I kind of made my own DSP, so I had the different patterns. So that was super fun, and it's just kind of a layering, what do you call that? You do it on pies. Lattice, that's what it's called. You do just a little bit of lattice, so under and then over, and here it was over and under. Yeah, the opposite, and same here. So I was able to use that and be able to create that. So that was fun. And then I just kind of mixed it up and changed it. Instead of having that flower over it, I rearranged them and used these other stamps. Stamps are trendy because we do have our dies that make the stamps, and then now we have these as well. And then this was one of the projects that they made during that webinar, and so I went ahead and I just made a little gift box out of one of the card layers, the card bases, and then put this stamp, this flower on it, so that I had just a fun little box. And in the posts with these, I think I did give you the measurements for how to do this. If I didn't, then please just go ahead and ask, and I will be happy to get you the measurements for that. And that's as far as I got with playing with that. I did all that in one evening, and it was super fun, and it made me feel so much better to get a little bit of crafting time amongst this big old move. And so I just wanted to share those in person with you, because sometimes it's a lot nicer to see than just a picture. All right, so now let's go ahead and move on to our new kit. Before we do, last month's, this month's, and next month's kit has these coordinating, look, another stamp die, has these coordinating dies, and they look like, I haven't even had a chance to cut them out yet. So a stamp, the word beautiful, and a flower. So this was for January, which I didn't get to use yet. This is for February, which I will use, and this one is for March. So I just wanted to make sure to show you those. We'll be playing with those because I am back to my weekly paper pumpkin play dates. So let's use our scissors, because as an all-inclusive kit, you definitely want to have your scissors on hand, if not just to open the box, get the box out of the plastic, right? All right, see, look, Kalispell. Yeah. All right, so here is our kit, and it is Celebrate Spring February 2026, and it does coordinate with one of our spring mini stamp sets. And I have it. I just think it would be faster for me to grab this or not. I love this set. I have it. These are on not available yet, but I have the rest, and I will be working on doing a live for you. Okay, maybe it would have been easier to grab the whole stamp set. Here's the basket that you can make out of it. But that's not the sweet. Where's the sweet? Oh, look, those flowers kind of match our little flowers from the dies. Look at that. All right, somewhere in here is this Easter sweet that I wanted to share with you, probably right here. Yep, right there, the one that was flipped together. All right, so here it is. So we have this stamp set, these dies, and then we have these cute little Easter eggs, and then this amazing paper, and I'll show it to you next week when we use it for an alternate, because it coordinates together. So we'll see what's in the kit, because I have no idea, and then we'll play with this stuff. But I just wanted you to know we have this amazing Easter set, and it coordinates with this kit. So let's find out how it coordinates. All right, so this is Shy Shamrock, which is a super fun spring green, right? Super fun spring green. This is an outgoing in color. Therefore, what that means is this will no longer, it's going to retire in May. So if you really like this Shy Shamrock and you don't have it, you will want to get it before May. All right, so that got stuck. All right, so photopolymer stamps are super sticky in the beginning, and it looks like my tissue paper got stuck to this stamp. All right, well, that will come off with water, so I'm not worried about it. Hello, friends. Sweet spring greetings. Happy Easter. We have 2 fun Easter eggs and some grass. I love it when they give us some grass because sometimes it's hard to draw it yourself. And I love how it's always wrapped. And this paper, because it's a nice pastel, which pastels are usually associated with spring and Easter and babies. I did not do pastel for my son when he was a baby, but I know that lots of people do that. I did bold colors. Let's see, what was my son's room? It was tan and blue, and then it was animals. So it was all different kinds of colors that went with the animals. Browns and oranges and things like that. So I did not do the pastels for my son. I wanted to pick something that he could grow up with, that I wouldn't have to keep changing it. And he loved animals, so it ended up being perfect. He was going to be a veterinarian, so having all those animals in his room and all the stuffed animals to go with it, yeah, it was a menagerie in his bedroom. All right, so we have our dimensionals and our glue dots. Ooh, looks like I lost a few. Not sure where that happened. And then we have some fun gems. These are adhesive backed sequins. We have our pink. Let's see, I'm going to guess Pretty in Pink, which is another outgoing color. In color. Let's see, what are our colors? So, ooh, super cute. 1, 2, 3 different cards, 3 of each, so 9 cards as usual. And here we go. Here are the dies that coordinate with it. Here's what's in the kit, and the colors are Balmy Blue, Crumb Cake, Lemon Lolly, Peach Pie, Pretty in Pink, and Shy Shamrock. So Peach Pie, Pretty in Pink, and Shy Shamrock are all part of the outgoing in colors. So if these colors tickle your fancy, you want to get them before May. All right, so let's see. And then Lemon Lolly, Balmy Blue, those are both in the subtles family, and then Crumb Cake is in the neutrals. All right, so let's go ahead and go to our little menu page here. Oh, they did it upside down, or they turned it around. That is interesting. Normally, when we open it, it's printed this way around so that you can then just go into the other. This time, it's this way. Yeah, all right. Printing bloopers, that's okay. All right, so we have what's our stamps look like right there. Let's move this out of the way. That, here we go. Let's do our 3 cards. All right, so this one does not show us the envelopes. Oh, they're all the same envelope. So then it doesn't matter. We're good. I like to match up the envelopes, and I usually use the front of the card to do that, or the front of the instructions to do that. That is super cute though, that little design. All right, and then we have our card bases. So we have card 2, card 3, and card 1. Okay, that box. All right, so is that it? What is, that's it. All right, so here we go. We have 4 of those, so we have an extra one. Nice. Very nice. Oh, looks like I might be missing something. Let me go back and look, make sure. Oh, yep, there it is. All right, it was stuck in between. Let me see if there's anything else. Am I missing anything else? No. Okay. All right, but we got 4 of those, so we got some extras of that, so that's nice. We never complain about that, do we? We like extras. All right, and so then we need one of these. There's only 3, no extras on that. That's okay. So we need this banner. There we go, this banner for here. And then we need these. And this one. All right, so we needed 4 of these. So therefore, not all of this will be extra, but they make the whole thing. All right, so 4 of those, and this square, like that. And then this one goes over here, and then an egg, just 1 egg. All right. Oh, the other egg goes over here. I thought that was kind of odd. All right, so we'll set that aside. Might use that as a mask. I'll take one of these. All right, so now we need these 3 flowers for number 2. We need the basket for number 3. Take this out, like that. And then we need the bunny for number 1. The eggs for number 3. The flowers, there's, ooh, here we go. The flowers go over here on number 3, like that. And we're going to pop this out. And I am keeping these because we can use these all as masks. So just in case, because that's of course the first thing that pops into my mind when we're doing this. We'll just keep one. Probably not that. And then this goes with that one. All right, set those aside. Okay, so we have 2 and 3 we're going to set aside. All right, and we'll get to work on number 1. So let's go ahead. Here we go. Here's number 1. Just flips right over. Well, that was easy. Maybe that's why they made the change. We'll see whether that's a permanent change or if they just did it this time around. Let's bring in our chipboard. Let's prime our stamps. I don't have any water close at hand, so we'll see. That is really stuck on there, but it looks like it's below the lettering. We'll have to try that one. This time around we're going to be using Happy Easter, so we'll pull that, and we're going to use the polka dot egg. All right, so let's get out our blocks. Use a little one for that, and we'll do that one. All right, and then we're going to do the Happy Easter on our banner, and our egg is on the egg. Get out our Shy Shamrock, and we'll do the Happy Easter. Okay, so that's going to bother me because it curves, and the Happy Easter does not curve. So I'm going to clean this, and we're going to make it kind of curve. So I'm going to just show you a little trick here with photopolymer, and you can do this wonderfully with photopolymer. All right, so this goes straight across, but I want it to curve a little bit. So I'm going to hold it. I'm going to stick it there. There we go. See how I put a little curve in it? There we go. And then we want to right here on that egg. There we go. All right. Let's put this together. So we're going to first fold this in half. Grab our bone folder, one of our other trusty tools. So I have with me my scissors, my bone folder, my take your pick tool, and my tweezers. These are my tools that I use the most. So I always highly recommend that these are the ones you have on hand. Then we're going to take the back of this and we're going to use, you can use your glue dots. I'm going to use my tear and tape because we have tear and tapes left over from the other kits. So I'm just going to use a piece of tear and tape here, a piece of tear and tape here. It's quicker than your glue dots. They've given you the glue dots. They work well for everything, but I find that the tear and tape is a little quicker, and so I am all about not using up a lot of your time because I know you have things to do too. So let's do that. There we go. Pull that up. Way faster than glue dots. So if you have tear and tape, use it. If you have green glue, which I usually use, but it's over at the other counter and I didn't want to go digging for it because I had the tear and tape right here, use what you've got. All right, so we're going to turn this over and it's going to go right here. Oops. It's going to go, make sure I center it without it being all wonky. There we go, like that. And then the Happy Easter. Let's see. It's going to go like this. And here is where I will use the dots because they've got that lined out for you. So we want 2 dots over here. And I'm just, here was an empty space and there's an empty space. So I'm just taking them from wherever. This one, and then I like to pop these off right away just so that they are out of the way. See, tear and tape was a lot faster for that big piece than all those little dots would have been. They would have had us doing 9 dots. So the tear and tape for the win. All right, so then we have tear and tape on that, and then we have our bunny, our egg, and our wreath. And we're going to use dimensionals for that. And when I use the mini dimensionals, I tend to use the take your pick tool because there's less fighting with it, I find. There we go. Alright, and then we want dimensionals. It looks like about every inch or so around the wreath so that you have a good steady and it's not all wobbly. If you don't do enough, it's wobbly more so than it will come off, in my opinion. So I rather have a few too many so that it's pretty sturdy and stay put. All right, and then I like to use the take your pick tool to take off these little pieces as well. That one slid. Yeah, it only holds so much. And then you just gotta clean it off. All right, there we go. That one didn't have a hole in it because it came up together with the other one. But if it has a hole, it's a nice, easy grab to get it off. All right, so now we will put this together. All right, so first we will go with the wreath the right way around. Make sure you don't have your flowers upside down. That would be kind of hilarious. And then we want to put our rabbit, and our ears are going to go up above the wreath a little bit, like that. He's cute. And then the egg goes under his hand right there. And then we have this, oops, the right way around across his body, like that. And then he's going to get a nice, cute little bow, or she, I guess we should say, she, although I think the Easter rabbit would be okay with, that's probably too big of a bow. We'll have to trim it down. The Easter bunny probably is used to wearing pastel colors, whether it's a he or a she is irrelevant. It's all about the spring colors. There we go. Let's pull a nice little bow out of that. There we go. That's a little bit long though, so we're going to trim it off, because otherwise the Easter bunny would stumble all over it. So here's where we're going to use another glue dot. And what I recommend, you're going to put the glue dot where you want it. You're going to pop off that little piece. And then what you're going to want to do is roll it. So you can either use your finger or you can use your take your pick tool to roll it up. You see that? That way it's not all over the place and it's just there for the dot, for the bow. All right, so I just use my take your pick tool, kind of roll it together. You could put it in your fingers and roll it too if you want. And then you're going to put your knot right on there. And that way it's only sticky for the knot. It's not sticky for everything else. All right, so there you have card number 1. We're going to put a couple of Easter eggs on the inside. All right, so we'll just use the same stamp. And we'll do, let's see. All right, just like that. Fun. And we have our gems. So this time they're using, and for sequence you want to use the point. So we have, sorry, the darker ones over here. And then the lighter one here. We're using 5 of them today. So this one's over here, and let's see. Ooh, where else did they put them? They have one here, and I can't see where the, oh, there's one, and then they have another one. It's hard to tell. So it doesn't matter where they put them, we put them where we want them. And that's how we roll, right? That's how we roll. I'm going to put that one right there in the center of that flower. All right. So there is card 1 from our February Celebrate Spring, and it goes into this super fun little envelope. All right, so let's check out card number 2. Set that there. card number 2. Flip that open and flip it around. Here we go. Let's see. So first we're going to stamp the Sweet Spring Greetings. Like that. I'll pull out another block. We'll do our 2 blocks, the 2 Stampin' Up! Blocks, the 2 kit blocks. They're wonderful to put together like that. It's nice and thick and easy to grab. So if you have more than one, stick them together. So we're going to center that. Make sure you smooth it out so you get the whole thing on there. There we go. And close that up. And then we have, this one's fairly simple and straightforward. So we will move this out of the way. We'll use our bone folder. Here we go. We'll put dimensionals on the back of this one. In each corner. Oop, that was just the backing. They have it in each corner, and then they have 2 in the center. And that probably will be plenty. All right. Oh, already got that one. There we go. Come on. There we go. All right. So what are your plans for the weekend? As many of you know, if you saw me live yesterday, we are heading out today for Ohio to go see our son compete at the indoor OAC. So that's Ohio Athletic Conference track and field. He is a thrower, and he is having a great indoor season. So we're really excited to see him compete. Oh, sorry, I should have put a Band-Aid on that. I went to the dermatologist last Friday, and he had to take care of a few things, and that one's acting weird. So I don't know. Might have to go back and see him. All right. Here we go. So now we're going to put glue dots on these. Glue dots on this. So glue dots. I got glue dot toppings, and let's see, what do I have? Glue dot toppings and dimensional toppings and tear and tape toppings. All right, here we go. So then next Thursday, I'll be back Monday, but next Thursday we will do some paper pumpkin alternates with this kit. Typically, I like to first play with what's in the kit, so we'll do some mixing and stuff with the kit, and then I'll bring in that stamp set and die set that coordinates with it. All right, let's see if we can get those off fairly quick, because we still have one more card to go. These, yeah, should have brought my green glue over here. It would have gone a lot faster. So if you have green glue, I highly recommend it, because it does just go a little faster than these glue dots. Now, glue dots I do definitely use with my ribbon and with my twine. So doing the bow on the rabbit, definitely use glue dots, not glue. But some of this other stuff, it's a lot faster with green glue, but they don't put green glue in here. That would be a little more challenging. They did once do glitter glue in a Christmas one. That was fun. Hadn't played with glitter glue in a long time. These kits are just so amazing, and every time I think they can't outdo themselves, they do. So if you are not a subscriber, you can get a 3, 6, or 9 month, no, 3, 6, or 12-month subscription, prepaid, or you can just do month to month. It just depends on what works for you. All right, so we have 2 down here. So this one is going to go here, and this one looks like it's off. That looks like it should have been with a dimensional. And then we have this flower here. And then this one is over here. And looks like right here. And then this flower is right here. And this one is right here. All right, well, see, now I don't care for that. So I'm going to go rogue, as we were talking about yesterday with the kits. And let's see what we can do here. I'm going to pull this off and go down here a little bit more. And then I'm going to do this one over here. And this one. Kind of like the idea of this one down here. So I think we're going to do that. And I'm going to stick a dimensional under there because it is making it go flat. So when you do that, you want to take the dimensional off. Oh, that one's stuck there now. All right, so take that off, put the dimensional back on here, and then slide it up under. Can you see that? Slide it up under there. All right, I like that. I like that better. So I just went rogue for my cousin Karen and I changed that up. All right, still sweet spring greetings. There's no flower in the stamp set. There's just grass, so I don't think I'm going to worry about stamping the inside with this. That's cute. All right, let's see what's next. We have one more. We have an Easter basket and flowers. Who doesn't love that? And we'll get those out of the way. And here we go. Oh, I guess I need to pull that off. All right, good thing I have my little ladybug, a little June bug vacuum cleaner. Need to bring it over here. All right, so this time we have the Hello Friend. Now's the test as to whether or not it's going to stamp. If not, I'll have to stamp it later. Oh, no. Yeah, so you can see here where the tissue paper got caught. And because it is such a sticky stamp, it stuck to it. So let's see whether this one's going to work. If not, I'll do everything but the tag. It did not interfere at all. Oh, goodness. Y'all should have said, hey, zoom in a little more. So it didn't interfere with the writing, so I can go ahead and use it and then still wash it later. So let's go ahead and bring this over. And we're going to do the Hello Friend on here. Like this. There we go. Yay, I'm glad that didn't interfere, so we could just get it done. Oh, and then we have an egg to do. Ooh, and this time we get to do some grass. We're using the other egg. Where's the stamps? Here they are. We're using the other egg and the grass. So, I'm going to pick the grass up with the block. Pick the egg up with another block. There we go. Like that. Ooh, I got it a little bit high, but that's okay. Not going to worry about it. And then we want to do our grass on here. So it looks like they just did 3. So 1, 2, and remember you can rock it and wiggle it just a little bit to make sure it gets in there. 3. Because these are not always perfectly even and flat. So photopolymer, it's okay to wiggle it a little bit just to make sure that the ink really gets onto your page or your card. All right, let's go ahead and fold this over. Use our bone folder. All right, and here we have all of this stuff. All right, so we're going to turn everything over. We want our eggs turned over. Move that out of the way. We want our basket turned over, our flowers turned over, everything turned over. Come on. You want to poke that out. I guess you could have left it in. I like to poke it out. Even though I'm not going to tie the bow actually through it, I'm going to tie it and glue dot it on. Let's see. So we're going to use glue dots on the flowers. There we go. Glue dots on the flowers. All the flowers get 1 glue dot. And then, let's see. Oh, no, 1 flower. 1 flower does not. 1 small flower gets a dimensional. And then the eggs, the bunch of eggs, gets the glue dots. And this gets the tag, gets glue dots. Now, what we'll do is we'll pop this off, and then we'll put a dimensional right over it. All right, we'll go ahead and see. Sometimes they fly. Oop, that one did. Sometimes they don't. All right. So if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you're going to onstage, don't forget to bring an alternate using this kit, because they're going to choose somebody. They're going to choose a bunch of people from the onstage entries for showing in their video. I had done that a few years ago when we were in Houston, and my rocking card got chosen. So I am going to be working on an alternate with this kit for that again this year. So I think I did one last year too. I just didn't get chosen, which is totally fine. You can't get chosen every year, right? All right, and so now we want dimensionals on our basket. And again, we want it stable enough so that it is not wobbly. So I don't feel like you can use too many. I would have to disagree with those people who say you can't use too many. You can use too many, I think. But ultimately, if it's stable, then you haven't used too many. All right. So you have to remember things are going to be kind of going down into it a little bit. So we're just mainly doing it around the edge. And I'm going to do one kind of up here in the middle though, because the eggs are not going to be down that far and they're not actually puffed up or on dimensionals. So I want to make sure I don't have any sagging. We don't like sagging in our cards. We don't want our ephemera to sag. Oh, that one already was missing one. There we go. That one's already off. That's already off. All right, everything is sticky and ready to get stuck. So, first thing they want us to do is the eggs. But to know exactly where to put the eggs, I'm going to kind of line it up like that because I want my basket sitting on. I want my basket sitting over the eggs and on the grass. So there we go, just like that. And not too high, so you want to make sure you don't have it too high. There we go. And then this egg will go here in front over this one, like that. And then we have our flowers. So one flower is going to be down here on the grass. And this one with the dimensional will be right here. Butted up against it. And then we have a big one over here on the basket. And another one over here on the basket. And then this one is tucked a little bit behind. All right. And then we have this over here on the basket. See, I've kind of hidden that I goofed up a little bit on that. We're going to cut another little bow. They say 10 inches. 10 inches is long. So I'm not going to do it quite that long. Now, if you struggle tying bows with shorter pieces, then you might want to use 10 inches. All right, here we go. Doo-doo-doo. I have one side shorter than the other, but I'm going to be cutting some off anyway, so that's okay. There we go. And then we want one of those glue dots to roll up like we did before. So I'm going to put that right there. I'm going to kind of cover the hole. And then I'm going to roll this up like I did before. There we go. Roll it in. So I'm kind of rolling it to the hole. And then we'll put our knot right on it like that. Look at that. How cute. So you could totally dress this up by doing Wink of Stella on any of the flowers or on the eggs. I wouldn't do it on this egg because of unless you Wink of Stella the green before you ink it, because the ink again will smear if you do it. That's super cute. And of course now we definitely have to do some eggs inside. We'll do this one over here, and we'll do this one right next to it like that. Fun, fun, fun. Love it. All right, so there are our 3 cards from this kit, the Celebrate Spring. Let me lay them out for you. Get all that stuff off of there. And then we'll zoom out just a little bit. So these are the 3 cards as designed by Paper Pumpkin Stampin' Up. All right, these are their 3 designs from this kit. All right, and then next week on Thursday, we'll start doing some alternates and playing with it. And we'll start by using what's in the kit to kind of mix and match, and also using the dies that you can get to go with this kit. All right, not the full stamp set suite. We'll do that one the next week, but for this coming week, for a week from today, we will go ahead and start mixing and matching and maybe throw in some of those dies as well. So last but not least, you have until March 10th to subscribe to get this kit. This is the March kit. This is their anniversary or birthday kit, however you want to look at it. There's always a second stamp set. So you get 2 stamp sets in your March kit because it's the celebration of their birthday. And oh man, how many years has it been? I think it's about 10 or 15, 20 years, something like that. We're getting close. I imagine when they hit their 20th that they'll have a large celebration for that. But at this point, I think we're still in the teens. I think they came out in, well, maybe it was this year, 2016, 2017, something like that. So it's coming up. If we haven't hit the 20-year anniversary for Paper Pumpkin, it's coming. But March is the birthday month of Paper Pumpkin, and this one will include an additional free stamp. And as you can see, it's going to be hummingbirds instead of butterflies. We usually get a lot of butterfly things, so even though it says fluttering garden, you can see there's the hint. It's going to be hummingbirds. All right, so let me just read what it says to you. So 9 cards, 3 each, of 3 designs, creating charming cards with a hummingbird motif for Mother's Day and more. Textured white card bases, pre-cut paper pieces and sentiments. Coordinating colors, basic gray, which will be your Stampin' Spot, Coastal Cabana, Early Espresso, Gorgeous Grape, Old Olive, Peach Pie, and Pretty Peacock. Ooh, yeah, that's going to be gorgeous. There's our Gorgeous Grape, our Pretty Peacock. Yeah, our Peach Pie. Yeah, it's going to be beautiful. So if you don't have a subscription yet, whether it's month to month or prepaid, or you just want to check it out, do the 3-month prepaid. Then you get it for 3 months, and you can see if it's something you want to continue doing. Every now and then they do a special on it. Shipping is included when you pay for your 3 months. Shipping is included right then and there for that. And then you get them for March, April, May, and you just don't want to miss out because they just get better and better. If you were to go back and look at all my lives for the Paper Pumpkins, there's just some amazing cards. There's often a little bit of a technique or something in there as well, and just great ideas and inspiration for creating your own cards. All right, so I wish you a wonderful day and a great weekend. I will see you next Tuesday for Kit Together Tuesday. We're going to do the Adopt a Pet kit, which is perfect for children. So if you've ever wanted to adopt a pet, if your kids want to adopt a pet, this would be a great way to get out of all the tasks that are involved with a real pet, and they could have 4 of their own little pets. They would just be paper pets. So that's what we're doing on Tuesday, and then I'll see you back here next Thursday for Paper Pumpkin Playdate. So stay tuned, enjoy your weekend. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.